Mr. McFall, coming to you from the workout room here at Station 11 in Salida, Colorado. This past year, I've really struggled with my physical fitness. I just haven't had that mental desire to get in the gym or run or work out in any way, and the results are really showing. Really disappointed in myself right now. So not only was I curious about your advice on physical fitness and how to improve not only my diet, but my workout, but also get over that mental roadblock that's keeping me from really focusing on this issue. I appreciate any thoughts. Thanks.
Coming back at you from the bridge here on the Odyssey. Called it the Odysseia for a couple of years until someone actually read it differently, and turns out it's Odyssey. I like Odysseia. Great question from Dan and some thoughts. I'm going to give you the long answer on that. First of all, I hope you're doing well with the COVID right now, and that's going to actually, I'm going to talk about that a little bit towards the end. I'm going to go back in time here as far as the advice on fitness, and you're disappointed in yourself from the results that you're seeing right now. We got time. We ain't going nowhere. It's the COVID. We're all locked down, and we're all just trying not to get hooked on Netflix. So here we go. I was the classic comic book, back of the comic book version of the 140-pound weakling, and I was I didn't have a good father figure when I was 13. I didn't have a good father figure when I was growing up, and sorry, stepdads, nothing personal. But I was reunited with my birth father when I was 13 for my 13th birthday, and being like this, I don't know what I was, 125 pounds, 130 pounds, bullied. I had a profound stutter, like speech therapy, and my inner circle of friends would be cool with me, but then anything outside of that, I would get teased. So, I was bullied. It was physically, felt really weak and vulnerable. And then I met my dad, my real dad, and a 13-year-old seeing your dad almost for like one of the first times. For my 13th birthday, I got to spend the day with my dad, my real dad. And when I first met him, other than like up to 2 years old, when I first saw him, it was like he was Atlas. He was just this monster of a dude. And 18 years older than me, 17 years, 18 years older than me. Huge guy. I looked at him and I wanted to be like him. So I'm going to answer your question here in the end, but you need some history on this. So at the time, what got me into it is my dad said, you should start working out. And it was a couple things. It was making up for lost time with my dad. It was, I want to be like him. I want to emulate him. I want to be strong like him. He had a presence when we would go to a restaurant or just go to the gas station, and people would be looking at him, and it wasn't like, oh, but it was just more like, it was a look of respect. And that was something I didn't have. He commanded respect. He didn't demand respect. He commanded it. Just his presence, his look. And that's what motivated me. So everyone else was like playing like the team sports and football and soccer and all that. I didn't have the coordination. I didn't have the coordination for soccer, and I didn't have the the weight and the strength behind me to play football, nor was I really a team sports kind of guy. But on the way home, I would take 2 extra bus stops a little bit early and stop at my dad's place. Sometimes he wasn't there. I could still get into his basement. He let me in, of course. I'd still go into his basement and was able to work out. And he had like a full functioning gym. 13 years old, I couldn't join any fitness center or anything like that. I think I was 15 with a parent when that started. But 13 years old, after school, everyone else is in soccer practice and whatever, and I was in my dad's basement working out. And I remember working out with that, just the straight barbell. And it was so frustrating. That just seems just like this mountain I just could not get to the peak of. Struggling with a bar, and my dad would put on 1 or 2 plates and push out a dozen. And I'm just like, God, but then I started seeing the strengths and all the gains. I'd put on 5 pounds. Wow, 10 pounds. And when I got to a quarter on each side, 95 pounds, I started seeing this change in myself. And that was back in the days of skateboarding and Tony Hawk. And some of the guys would have skateboarding gloves. My gloves, they looked like skateboarding gloves, but they were gym gloves. And I'd work out, and they're starting to see this change in me physically. Shirts are getting a little bit more snug. Physically, it's getting more strong. I had a more physical presence. But then also, I was getting stronger in my confidence. And still had no game with the women. Donuts with the women. No idea which way was up, and I didn't know where things went at all. But it was with the guys is when I started seeing the change there. That was my motivation. And then it was just much like right now in COVID here, garbage in, garbage out. Everyone's hooked on watching Tiger Queen or whatever that is and eating Cheetos. This is a great time to get in shape and find that motivation here. So my motivation at that time was getting that confidence back and avoiding being that bully. And I want that respect that my dad had, still commands. So just after graduation from high school, I just kind of became that gym rat meathead, and that's what I saw. That's what really fed me. And so phase 1 was just this motivation to get the confidence and to be emotionally and physically stronger. And then I started reaching those years. I cut my mullet, I burned my jean jacket, and got rid of my fanny pack. And around 2021, I cut my mullet at 21. Dating myself here. Is I started turning heads of women now. And with my confidence now, my stuttering went away. I shifted to changing my clothes, my style. I started working out more the whole classic. It would be Chester buys on a Friday because me and my boy Trent would go out and kick it, chasing skirts, and women love that confidence, and that fed me. That's what now. It wasn't so. I've got the confidence. I've got the emotional part harnessed. Now I'm moving out. Why am I working out now? It was for women. 20, 21 years old. That's it. Full of piss and vinegar. So that's what drove me, and all of a sudden I'm starting to get these making up for lost time, where women were starting to be more aggressive towards me. That fed my confidence there, as far as now all of a sudden I'm starting to, okay, I know how the game's played. So nothing like summers in Wisconsin, going to the beach in Lake Winnebago and taking your shirt off with confidence and knowing you've got this. So there was a lot of drive there at that time for to catch the eye of the opposite sex. That's it. Let's be honest. We're men. We like to breed. Coffee break. So that held out for quite a few years. So throughout my 20s, that was pretty much that phase 2 there. Phase 3, I went through the first fire academy in 2000. It was right before 9/11. And during that fire academy, I was the second oldest cadet in the fire academy, much like the one that Dan Distel was a instructor in. I was, I think, the oldest one in the entire academy, including the instructors. Anywho, me and another cadet. The other cadet, the older guy, he was a little bit older than me by a couple years. He's a judge in Summit County. So when that kicked off, the fire academy there, and I got on with Copper Mountain Fire, is what was driving me then. I hope you can hear me because there's a plane flying over right now. I don't want to say I started seeing like the age difference as far as what the typical cadet and the entry into firefighting was going to be like, but I wanted to be the strongest, fastest, agile. I wanted to just be that firefighter warrior. So I was training hard for that. I was running a lot of stairs. I'd put on a 30-minute bottle and go for a run and just see how far I could run before that last breath. And the most I ever got out of that was 3 miles right to the dot. I had that last breath took, and I had a few more steps. Hit that 3-mile mark. So there it was. I'd put on a EKG monitor and get on the stairs or the treadmill and see how fast and hard and how steep of an incline I could go. And again, running stairs with hose packs. I'd be in the back of the station running stairs, full bunker gear. I'd be out shoveling the driveway at the fire station, the apron, in full turnouts and an air bottle. It's work. Let's do this. Let's go suck some bottles and shovel the driveway. So my workout shifted more towards life as a firefighter. Again, throwing ladders is a lot different than military press. But thank God I did that military press for so many years, because that gave me that strength, gave me the foundation. But also, let's go back to that phase 1 again. If I didn't have that confidence, there's no way I would be able to go through a confidence course or be able to survive Fire Academy in the Rockies from October on. And being able to lead the younger guys and be a strong asset and a good firefighter on the fire ground after the academy. So that shifted a little bit. Then I got hooked into doing the Firefighter Combat Challenge, and I got hooked on that. And that was like, holy cow, that's a mix of like gym rat meets firefighter. They have a baby combat challenge. So I toured with the Scott Firefighter Combat Challenge for a few years. Fell a few seconds short for qualifying for Worlds to go to Vegas, but more than most people could do. So you know what, that really drove me, and that was like, it was one of those things where I just wanted to, I guess, prove myself and prove others around me that I can do this job and do it above and beyond. So what was that, phase 3? So shortly thereafter, I got hired on with Summit County Ambulance, and a couple years into that, started martial arts in 2004, and there's a SWAT team that was training, and they needed a bad guy. Hey, you look like a good op 4. So they got to wrestle with me and try to arrest me, and I was the bad guy. Well, that was a really interesting day. I was pretty strong in my ground game at that time, and these guys were trying to wrestle and arrest me, and they ended up tapping out. Tapped them all out. It sounded like the end of a really good play. Everyone was just... So I remember hearing the conversation when the day was over, and they were saying, we can't beat them, let's have them join us. So I was invited to join their SWAT team as their EMT, and Let's raise that bar a little bit more. Now what are you training for? So it was a nice reciprocal relationship to where I was like training a downed firefighter and dragging him, carrying him down a couple flights of stairs, to training one of my brothers going down with GSW, got to get him out of the hot zone and the warm zone, all that. So it was like, now I'm working out for that, carrying different gear. Totally different context, yet similar. And that's what drove me there, to where it was just like, there was a different bar there. Because these guys, this was like one of the first times they had any kind of SWAT EMT slash, what is this guy? He's not a cop, he's not quite the medic. Who is this guy? But we got to have him. So being novel in this, or genesis, I don't say novel because that's coronavirus crap. Being at the genesis of this, I felt like I had a lot to prove to them and to myself. Going to a car fire on the highway is a lot different than serving a high-risk warrant. Both have consequences. Both are going to get you differently. So, anyway, I feel like that bar was raised. So I had to be a better shooter. I had to be a better fighter. I had to be better on my ground game. I had to be better with weapons, firearm retention, and weapon control as far as with a suspect. But that also made me a better EMT dealing with the combative, agitated patients. That's why I work out injury prevention now, right? One of the big number one injuries, I'm kind of going back a little bit as far as the EMT and firefighting, is we got to have a strong core, we got to have a strong back, shoulders, we got to be strong, we got to have strong legs. One of the number one injuries working on an ambulance is a back injury, and firefighters. Back injuries. Proper lifting, proper technique, get a buddy, swallow your freaking pride, don't have that fucking ego and be like, I can do this, and then you just see that tinge, and then they're out for 3 days, then they're on workman's comp. Swallow your freaking pride, get a buddy to help you lift. But anyway, being strong is key to the longevity of being a firefighter, EMT, a Leo. So I stepped away after about 6 years with on the SWAT team. I wanted to focus more on my gun business at high caliber, and that was really getting some great momentum. And I really started taking off with the martial arts aspect here, with changed it from Taekwondo into more of a Kempo, Silat, knife and blade, stick work, kind of a hybrid version of MMA, if you will. I don't like the MMA. I mean, it's cool, it's good, I like it, but there's rules there for combat. So I started focusing more on that, and I started seeing the triad of anatomy and physiology, gunfighting, and martial arts. They're all connected. They all, it's a relationship. It's very synergistic. I'll get into that on another talk, but I just wanted you to understand, as far as when I started focusing more on my gun business, I started doing more functional work with the firearm. So in some of my videos you'll see on my website or Instagram, is I'm on the gun range hucking railroad ties, doing box jumps on picnic tables, curling big stones, throwing them, running up to them, engaging targets. And the concept behind that was to get my heart rate up, get dirty, get sweaty, get some dirt in your eyes, and still be a functioning and proficient and safe, minimally liable gunfighter. Everyone's always on the gun range, and that was one thing I noticed on the SWAT team, was that they were very sterile. Proper stance, proper position, target squared, you're squared, and they'd have these nice pretty commands, bright light or low light, but then there was still some lighting there, maybe some NVGs, and it was just, everything was nice and sterile and laid out. Now we need to get dirty. So a couple of my advanced students, we'd be on the ground with our blue guns or red guns, and wrestling, fighting, doing some light sparring, contact, give them the command to engage. So that fitness level just shifts a little bit for the job, the projected job, the projected potential job. So there's a lot of ground fighting, a lot of hand-to-hand, a lot of dealing with an opposing force versus just a static dead weight. Definitely love doing the dead weights. That was still there. That's always going to be there. Those, I'm going to call it dead weights, are always going to be there. The gym time. So shifting from that after the gun business, I did a little bit of international travel for a couple of years. I was everywhere from Vietnam to Scotland, and obviously there's a lot of restrictions there, be it knife and gun. Obviously you can't have a gun there. So I really was concerned about my personal safety, and I also wanted to have that, give that projection of not the guy you want to mess with. And that's part of, that's another talk. That's part of just the whole avoiding the fight. I'm not the guy you want to mess with. Just move on, pick an easier target, move on. But I still want to have that physical presence of, this guy works out, this guy looks a little scary, like he's going to cut somebody if something goes wrong. So that, back to that confidence that started when I was 13 years old. You can't buy it. You can't wear a shirt. You can't drive a car. You can't do anything to project that kind of confidence. That's what's been built over the years of training, working out, cardio, whatever kind of work you're doing. That's where that confidence comes from. It takes time. So I guess we can fast forward now to this COVID thing. I think when this thing first went down, it was really concerning to me, because I think I know Americans and typical humans a little too well to where, left to their own devices, I think people can self-destruct, especially in this day and age. Left to their own devices, this is a different generation that we're dealing with right now. The hashtag I deserve it, the hashtag entitlement mentality. But they saw this as, when this thing first kicked off, they saw this as a 2-week break, and everyone was like, woohoo! And they're sleeping till noon. They're freaking gaining weight, or they're losing weight, but it's the wrong kind of gain or loss. You know what I'm saying? So, when this thing first kicked off, the first thing I did is I bought a TRX, because mine was in my storage unit, buried in the abyss of storage life. So, bought a TRX, got some bands, and I reconned a couple of parks here that have some good anchors for TRX, and my schedule is the same. My alarm goes off at 3:30 in the afternoon, and it says, "Gym, yo, get your ass working out, go." And I'm still seeing this. We're 2 months into this. We're 60 days plus into this, and I'm still seeing this downward spiral in many ways. On the other hand, we're seeing a lot of people out there walking and exercising, which is great. Get outside, get some fresh air, move. Just move. Back up to 2009, I got rid of my TV. I literally unplugged my TV, took it out of the entertainment center, walked next door, knocked on my neighbor's door, and said, "Hey neighbor." He's like, "Hey, what's up, Holmes?" Hispanic dude, he just got broken into, literally just got broken into an hour or two before that. And I was just like, this is serendipitous, man. Gave him the TV. He was like, "Thank you." And I literally got up on the roof right then and there, took, I think it was a 5/8 bolt times 4, took the satellite dish off my roof, chucked it, threw it in the dumpster, done. Called whatever they were, it was Dish. Called Dish, canceling. "Well, where are you moving to?" "I'm not." "Well, what are you going to do for internet? Or what are you going to do for TV and cable and all that crap?" "I figured it out. I'm good." Then I sold my sofa. Then I sold my end table. Then I sold the lamp that was next to the end table. Then I sold the entertainment center. Then I sold the DVD and all that shit that goes with it. Gone. And I looked at that, and it's like just the TV, just that cable alone is a gateway to buying a bunch of useless stuff that leads to a less healthy and a sedentary lifestyle. If you get a TV, you gotta get an entertainment center, hang it above the fireplace. Why don't you just look at the fireplace and enjoy that before you go to sleep, have some coffee or tea, and shut her down? If you get a TV, you got cable, you gotta get a sofa, might as well get a wraparound because we're all gonna watch the game. Well, then you've got to get the accoutrements that go next to the sofa, the coffee table. You got to have a coffee table because you got to put the chips and salsa and the nachos and the freaking sausages and all that crap on the table for the game day. You are feeding a sedentary lifestyle. So stop, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Coffee. And think about what you're doing that leads to this sedentary lifestyle. Oh, I'm just so tired after work, I just want to lay on the sofa. How about you just go for a nice fresh air walk, and if the sun's going down, enjoy the sunset, look up at the clouds, enjoy that, breathe in the fresh air, enjoy those moments. Last night I was walking on the dock, and it was so cool because the guy was just like spaced out looking straight ahead, but he saw me just looking up. I nearly blew out C3. Looking up, and it was this beautiful osprey. I remember that. And I said it again today, what happened last night. I'm going to remember that for a very long time. But I'm not going to remember what frickin' season 2, episode 6 of Breaking Bad was. Don't care. It's useless shit going into my head that serves no purpose. So, build those good moments. Build those healthy moments, especially in this time right now. Back to what I was saying before. My alarm still goes off 6:30, 7:30, 6:37 or 5:30 in the morning, and I'm up. Well, what are you going to do? Move. Go. Hustle. I spend time in my storage unit, as you can be spending time in your home. eBay that useless shit that you don't need anymore. So again, hell, that's another podcast. Circling back to things that feed that sedentary lifestyle, those choices that you make. Now you got a coffee table, now you got chips and salsa, nachos, all that crap on there, and you're sitting there watching guys making millions of dollars to play one game. It's a game, it's a war, it's a battle. No, it's not. You put on helmets, gear, you get paid, and people cheer for you to run or tackle or throw a ball. Meanwhile, your cholesterol is going through the roof. Meanwhile, your blood pressure is going up because you're all pissed off and amped up because of this game. It's a Super Bowl. Who cares? Nobody cares. They don't care. Think about you. So, I guess kind of in closing, to advice on the fitness and the diet, and I'm going to look at a note here. In your workouts, disappointed in yourself. It's just choices. But the real key I really wanted to hit here was going back to 13 up to now, in the twilight years of my 40s. How many years is that? 13 to, I hate to say this, in the high 40s. I'm still moving. Still in the gym, still working out, have had plenty of injuries, from blown backs to broken noses to left ankle jacks me up after a few miles of running. You still got to move. But the thing is, the key that what I really wanted to strike here, and apologies for the long answer, like the delay in getting the answer to you, but the more I thought about this, as far as like you need some advice on physical fitness and working out, what it comes down to is you, Dan Distel, anyone else out there that is just trying to get through this COVID right now, you have to define what's going to motivate you. So you as a firefighter, think about the weight that is on your shoulders. You don't even know it's there, but the weight that is on your shoulders. You're a big man. I've stood next to you. You're a big bastard, man. The weight that's on your shoulders. that your brothers and sisters in the fire service depend on you. When you got to carry Nana, who may be obese, down a flight of stairs, that strength is going to be on you to take care of patients, to stay healthy. You got to stay healthy for your patients. You got to stay healthy for your brothers in the fire service. You got to stay healthy for yourself. You stay healthy physically. You stay healthy mentally. So you've got to lock onto, but it's still going to be organic. Think about what motivates you in this period. And it's organic. It's going to be constantly evolving, be it, I don't want to be bullied, I want to get some chicks, I want to be a strong firefighter, I want to be a good martial artist, I want to survive the COVID because I don't know how long this is going to be, and I need to maintain my health. Number one, I need to stay healthy during this COVID. The last thing I want to do is find any reason to go to a hospital right now. There's no other reason. To stay healthy, keep moving, watch your diet, garbage in, garbage out. Reframe that. Good in, good out. Right? You sit and watch Netflix for the 3 months that we're locked down. What do you expect? You drop $125, that's 1 month of killing your internet and or your cable and all that crap that you got going on and pumping crap into your home. You kill that for 1 month, you paid for your TRX. 2 more weeks of cable. 2 more weeks of that, you can buy some bands, the big ass rubber bands. You'd be surprised what you can do with that. You want to see that? I'll send you some clips on that, on what I do in the park for that. And what's neat about that is I'm actually getting people, they're hiring me to train them in the park. They walk by and they're seeing this and going, wow, that's great. It's such a great idea. Everyone's walking, and God bless them. That's great. They're outside. They're getting some fresh air. They're interacting with their neighbors. Couples are talking, sometimes fighting, but they're talking. They're out there. But another factor on that is I want to be a good representative of health and wellness. I'm not going to sit here and mope and go another day of this. No, I'm that person that's out there every day from 3:30 till 5 o'clock, working out in the park, TRX hanging, yoga mat out, I'm stretching, I'm working out, and people smile. And what am I doing? I'm doing good. Good in, good out, right? I'm not going to sit there on a park bench like I've seen in Tacoma, smoking weed. Oh, this sucks, man. Someone's going to walk by and see that and be like, yeah, it does suck. No, I want to be the beacon of light, beacon of strength, beacon of fitness. You're 40 what? No way. Yes way. Show my driver's license. So that's it, man. So the whole idea here is to be organic, and whatever your reason is, find it. Write it down. Write down the reason, what's going to motivate you to make you that strong person. Why are you going to work out? Why are you going to eat better? Garbage in, garbage out. Good in, good out. Make good choices, conscious choices. Conscious choices on how much TV you're going to watch. Man, it's like getting off of heroin, I'm sure. Not that I've tried it, but you know what I'm saying. But there was nothing, it felt so freeing to just literally take that dish off my roof and throw it, thud, stick into the turf, into the grass. Done. I'm out. That was 2009, June 1 of 2009. Done. Don't miss it. I can't imagine having a TV right now. That would suck up so much of my time. Aren't you bored? Aren't you bored watching some stupid show? When I was at work, after I got rid of that TV, and there was a commercial on, I'd ask the guys, what's on right now? In the span of a commercial, they'd forget what they were watching. Read a book. Learn a language. Do something. Talk to each other. So, anyway, write that down. That's your assignment. Anybody that's watching right now, that's your assignment. Write down what motivates you. Why are you going to stay healthy? Why are you going to eat right? Why are you going to move? Whatever it is. Before I got my TRX, I was lifting ammo cans. I had 2,000 round cans of 9mm, and I was in the park with my ammo cans, working out with them, curling, squatting, pressing, doing something, calf raises, standing on a curb with my ammo cans, you know? And it was great because people walked by and they're like, man, whatever it takes. I'm like, exactly. Boom. So that's your assignment. Write down what's going to motivate you. Being strong for yourself, strong for your brothers in work, strong for your wife or girlfriend or husband, boyfriend, whatever it is, you got to be strong for them too. Okay? And the longevity of this, right? Stay healthy. Make good choices. Get moving. Peace out. Thanks again, Dan, for sending in that question. That's awesome. Really enjoyed that. Apologies for that time, the delay in answering your question, but man, I really needed to chew on that. That was. It just seemed to grow some legs when I started thinking more and more about it. Versus like, well, here's your fitness, here's your getting over your hump. I just want to give you a bit as far as history on where I was and where I am today. I think when you get to know someone, it's critical to know where they've been, and it gives you a lot of context to where they are today on why. So, hope you enjoyed. Hit the like button, spread the word, send in questions. Dan, I really liked your question. You got a couple more in the queue. I'm going to work on those after this one. We'll see you soon. Be safe, be healthy, be happy as you can, and we're going to get through this COVID. See you. Send coffee, please.